Alright guys, this is a video of my 2014 GSXR 1000. I figured I'd do a video, and I know there's some people out there like I was when I was looking to buy, for just some information and what to expect. I bought this bike just about a year ago. It was a demo bike. It had like 2,400 miles on it or something. A lot of guys said, don't buy a demo bike. They're junk. They're beat up. I have had zero problems with this bike. I mean, it was mint when I bought it. There was a few, scuffs on the tank. I don't even know if you can see that, but camera's not really picking it up, but from riders. But man, I wouldn't even sweat getting a demo bike. I mean, it's not like you can go doing wheelies and you're not redlining it everywhere, you're not beating it up. You got a lead guy and a tail guy. They're not going to let you go too crazy on it. So yeah, I mean, it had like 2,400 miles on it when I bought it. Now, keep in mind, when I bought this bike, this is the first street bike I've ever owned. I didn't start off on a 600 or smaller. I mean, this is it. I started out on a leader bike. And so, yeah, it might be a little crazy, but honestly, man, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't do anything different. It's awesome, dude. The power is manageable. The weight, I don't know what this thing weighs, maybe just under 500 pounds. It's not bad at all. I mean, the bike's nimble. It leans in the corners great. I mean, unless you're standing still, trying to, move it between your legs, going, forward or backwards, you could probably feel the weight a little bit compared to maybe, a 600 or a 750. But other than that, man, once you're going, I don't think you'll have any issues as far as the weight goes. I mean, the seating position is super comfortable. I mean, everyone tells me Gixxers have the most comfortable seating position. This seat, man, I don't know. It's soft compared to like an R6 where it's just hard. I mean, I don't know what it's got. Doesn't have gel in it, but it's pretty nice, man. So for the comfortability, it's awesome. I'm 6 foot on the dot, and I could flat foot this. I could stand up with it. It's got a nice low seat. You're still in a really aggressive seating position, but not near as hunched over or sitting as high as some of these other bikes I've seen. It comes standard with some adjustable pegs. So power, man, this thing's got some power. Torque is where I think most guys that are coming from a smaller bike to a leader bike, that's going to be the biggest noticeable power difference, is just how much torque this thing has. Like I said, I've never ridden anything smaller except for dirt bikes, but it's got crazy torque. I hear a lot of guys with 600 say, when you're on the highway, you got to downshift, pass, and keep those revs high. But man, this thing, you can be in a high gear, or a low gear, I'm sorry, and cruising at 5,000 RPMs, 4,000 RPMs, and just crack the throttle and you're cruising. The torque is awesome. I couldn't imagine not having it. Putting in all the work, trying to get this thing up in the RPMs to get around people or to, do whatever. The torque is awesome. And it's fast. The thing is crazy fast. I think I've had it, I mean, the bike says it was 182. I don't know how accurate that is, but it was flying, and it gets there so quick. Never riding before on a street bike, on a car or something, you sit there and you gun it, you wait, you shift, you gun it, you know, and you're just creeping up. This thing is just there. There's no waiting. It's so crazy fast. So it's fun, but it's manageable, like I said. It's got 3 modes, A, B, and C. A mode, you know, it's full power. It's, you know, it's jumpy. You know, it's different. And so just going from, you know, stoplight to stoplight in town, I usually have it in B mode. Not that you need to, but it just takes the jumpiness away, I guess. C mode's okay. It's still ridiculously fast, but it's a very noticeable power decrease. I know it's meant for like rain, but it takes a lot of that pop away, I guess you could say, so it's not going to be so jerky. But 90% of the time, I mean, I'm in A mode, and you know, I have no issues with controlling the power. It's got the Gixxer, I mean, I guess they're pretty known for this, but they've got great low and mid-range power, which is where I'm at most of the time in town, and the torque just carries you through. So I mean, you're not sitting there wrapping it out. There's just no need to. The power is just there at a low and mid RPM range. So, you know, coming into a leader bike first ever, you know, street bike being a leader bike, you know, some people might think it's crazy, but man, I wouldn't change it at all. I think it was a smart move, a great move. I don't think, you know, I mean, I don't know. I'm not like a young 20-year-old kid that's, you know, just out there to just bash on it. I do ride hard, but, you know, the first day I bought this bike and I was riding on the highway, it made me respect the power right off the bat. I was on the freeway, I got on the freeway, and we're cruising, and, you know, I get into it pretty good. I don't know, 100, a little over 100, and a turn comes up, and, you know, you just think you can do whatever on it, but you can't. The thing is so fast, and it gets there so quick. This thing makes you respect the power it puts out. You can't just get on there and be stupid, because you will crash. And so for me, you know, initially I felt what it could do, and it makes you kind of respect that power that it has. So yeah, man, I'm happy with it. I think it's awesome. I know there's a stigma with Gixxers. Some people hate them, some people love them. There's hardly any in between, but man, it's a good bike. It's comfortable. It does everything well. I don't know that it excels, you know, in any one performance thing. I don't think that it does any one thing just better than any other bike out there, but it does everything really, really good. And like I said, the power range in the low and mid RPMs, it's there, it's fast, it's comfortable. So overall, man, it's a good bike. The brakes are good. It comes with Brembo on this model. I mean, I don't know, they could be better, but for what it is, I think they work good. I've never really experienced much brake fade. So stopping powers, I think it's adequate. The bike, I think, sits stock at 182 horsepower, which is crazy power to weight ratio. You know, there's not much difference between what you buy off the showroom floor and a race bike. You know, there's some exhaust work, fairings, you know, and a few tweaks here and there, but honestly, man, what you get off the showroom floor is basically race ready. And a lot of guys that I've seen, you know, go out and buy these bikes, and they just don't understand that. You know, from the tank design, you know, it's you know, to put your knees, this thing's got real deep grooves to, you know, and it works perfect to tuck your knees into the, you know, just the way everything's set up. It's made for the track, and so, you know, it is what it is. And a lot of guys, I don't think, respect that, and you get guys that, you know, like me, when I first bought the bike, I just didn't really know the power delivery of these leader bikes, and it makes you respect them pretty quick. But yeah, man, overall, guys, I think it's a good buy. I think it's a great bike. I wouldn't sweat going, if you're on a 600, I wouldn't sweat going on a leader bike. I don't think it's going to be much different. Like I said, I mean, I'm not an expert. I've never really ridden anything smaller, but coming from a guy who's never ridden anything smaller than this for a street bike, I don't think you're going to regret it at all. I think the power is super manageable. I think the weight of the bike is going to be hardly noticeable for you. I mean, when you're leaning into a turn, obviously the bike is a little bigger and it does weigh more, so it might be a little noticeable at first, but it's completely manageable. This thing is super aerodynamic. It leans in awesome. You know, you can whip it around. I can whip it around just fine, and it's not overbearing at all. So yeah, man, super happy with the purchase. I've enjoyed every minute of it, of the 1000. And so if you're looking to get a 1000 and a Gixxer at that, go for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed with what this thing produces at all. Exhaust work, the only thing I've done to the bike, I just have a slip-on Yoshimura exhaust, the R77D. It's just, you know, it's a single outlet, but it's got a dual port. Sounds pretty good. I'll start it up for you here in a minute. Sounds pretty good. Like I said, it was just a slip-on. I don't have it, you know, I don't have an ECU or I don't have anything done to it. So I mean, stock, it does everything I need it to do. You know, so I think I do need to get frame sliders for it. It makes me nervous doing, you know, getting too crazy on twisty roads, because if I do lay it down, it's gonna really mess it up. So I need to get some frame sliders. I need to get some different levers. A lot of guys I see ride just kind of two-finger it when they're shifting. You know, on these, they're not that far away from the handle bar. So to two-finger this for my hands, I mean, I've got to really, what happens is I pinch my other two fingers, and with these shorty levers, I mean, they come out a little further, so you don't have to pull it in as much. So I think I'm gonna do that here pretty soon. But other than that, man, the mirrors I think are awesome for stock mirrors. You don't gotta chicken wing it too much. They're sturdy. There's not a whole lot of vibration, so I mean, you can actually see out of them. And then you know, the gauge cluster is awesome. I love the gear indicator. There's different modes that you can select. You can adjust your shift lights and all that stuff. So with a Gixxer, many of you know, you have to hold the clutch in to start it. It is kind of a pain in the butt, I'll admit. It'd be kind of nice to just be able to start without doing that, but you know, it's a safety feature, I guess, that they came out with. So I'll start it up for you and you can kind of hear it run. Hang on a sec. Like I said, the exhaust sounds pretty good. I mean, when I first bought it, the stock exhaust sounded like a sewing machine. So this makes it a little gruntier. So there it is. So yeah, that's my video of my 2014 Gixxer 1000. Overall, great bike, great buy, super fast but manageable. I think anybody who goes this route, whether it be a Gixxer or a Yamaha, Ducati, BMW, you know, whatever, any of those leader bikes, in my opinion, I don't think you're gonna regret it, and I wouldn't be scared to go that route. With the new technology, you know, selecting these modes, I'll show you. You got A mode that just popped up here, and it's just a trigger. So as you're riding, you can just go on the fly and change modes. You don't got to be in stop or neutral. You know, so that's A, and then it goes down to C mode, which is the lowest setting, and then it goes back up to B mode, and then, you know, whatever. Now, when you turn the bike off and then get back on it to go again, it will default to the A mode. It will just automatically be in A mode, so you'll have to, you know, change that. It won't stay in whatever mode you selected before you turned it off. So yeah, man, there it is, 2014 Gixxer 1000. Hope you guys, hope this was informational for you. Great bike, great buy. Don't be scared to go to a 1000. I know, like I said, I'm a rider who, this is my first street bike, and I love it. I couldn't imagine having any less power. It's you know, everything you need and some. But I guess I wouldn't want to go smaller now that I have this and know what this can do. I think I would, if I did, I would regret it. I think I would go back to a 1000. So there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed it.